let's do a reconciliation. So this is the bank reconciliation. And let's start with this question. It says, complete the following sentences by filling in the missing word or words. Write only the word or the words next to the answer in your answer book. So the first question here is, a favorable balance on the bank statement is a credit balance. Okay, so favorable for bank account is debit, but for bank statement, it's the opposite. So this over here is a credit balance. Okay, next question. According to the what concept, bank charges should be separately recorded from interest on overdraft. Okay, that is the concept of, it's a GAR principle, the GAR principle of materiality. So materiality says that you should show things separately. Then next question, a bank reconciliation statement should be prepared every month. Okay, so that's monthly. Then a what, question mark, we don't know what that is a financial facility that allows one to withdraw more money that is in your bank account, and then they charge you interest on this. This is an overdraft. So this is a bank overdraft. Okay. And then the last question is, what do you call an instruction to a bank to pay a third party? So to pay someone else. The bank must pay someone else on your behalf. That's called a debit order. Okay, so there you go. That's how you would get 5 marks for that question. Okay, next, we are going to do the bank reconciliation statement. We're going to update, number 1, the cash journals, so the CRJ and the CPJ. Then we're going to calculate the correct bank balance for November. And then we're going to prepare the bank reconciliation statement. Okay, so let's go on. Let's look at our information. So if you look at your answer book, here's the CRJ and here's the CPJ, and the provisional totals have been filled in for you. So you don't have to fill that in. You can just start with your adjustments. Information A gives us an extract from the bank recon of last month. So this is the previous month. So what you must remember here, grade 11s, everything here should appear on this month's bank statement. Okay? So all of these things, they must appear on this month's bank statement. So let's see information. It says the outstanding deposit of 23,600, it's this deposit over there, appeared in the November bank statement. Okay, that's a good thing. So this was October, so it should appear in the bank statement for November. So, okay, with this information, we're going to do nothing. That's good. It appeared, so we can cancel that. Next, the outstanding deposit of 52,000 on the bank reconciliation statement, so they are referring to this amount, was in respect of fee income for services rendered. Okay, it was reflected as 40,000 in the November bank statement. So it was in the bank statement. That's a good thing. But only as 40,000, not as 52,000. Okay. Then it says, after investigation, it was decided to write off the missing amount of 12,000. So the difference between 52 and 40,000 is 12,000. And that should be written off. So we are not going to get that money. So we need to write that off. So where are we going to write that off? So if you have to cancel a deposit, a deposit will normally go to the CRJ. So when you cancel it, it must go to the CPJ. So let's go cancel it. It was on the bank statement. But in our books, we made the mistake now. We entered too much. Can you see a deposit of 52,000 was too much because the 12,000 went missing. So we have to take the 12,000 away and a deposit is cancelled in the CPJ. Next adjustment says EFT 96, and EFT is a payment, appeared on the bank statement for November. Okay, that's a good thing. So here's number 96 and cancel. We're not doing anything with that, Okay, information B says here are the provisional totals at the end of November before the additional information. So you have your total for the CRJ. Can you see the total is filled in there? And then you have your total for the CPJ, and that total is filled in there. So we don't have to do anything with that. But let's look quickly. There's something here we didn't touch, in the previous bank recon. It's this over here. Favorable balance per bank statement. This amount will go here when you work out the correct bank balance, So you need here, you need the bank balance plus the total of the CRJ minus the total of the CPJ. The bank balance is a positive, so plus it starts with a positive because it's favorable. So because it's favorable, I'm going to start with a positive 27,200. Okay, so done with that. Information C says the following information in the 30 November 2023 bank statement did not appear in the November cash journals. So the following items, they appeared on the bank statement, but not in the CRJ and the CPJ. So we need to read through this and then decide where it should go. It should either go to the CRJ or it should go to the CPJ. So let's read. First thing is a debit order to the municipality for electricity, 5,600. Okay, 5,600 will go to the CPJ because a debit order is a payment, That's a payment that was left out. Okay, so next, cash handling fees, 1,090. Okay, cash handling fees is bank charges, So I'm just going to make a star because I want to check if there's any other bank charges because we show them as one amount. So, but that's bank charges. That will go to the CPJ. Then a deposit for services rendered. Refer to information D. So refer to information D. Let's go read information D. It says, a deposit of 37,600 was wrongly reflected on the bank statement. Okay, and the bank will rectify this mistake. So this is not our mistake. We are the CRJ and CPJ. The bank is the bank statement. So the bank statement reflected a deposit of 37,600. So can you see, here's the 37,600 that we don't have. But it was a mistake. So the bank must remove a deposit. So the bank must remove a deposit. Okay, so I'm going to go to my bank reconciliation statement because if the bank makes a mistake, it goes to the BRS, the bank reconciliation statement. Normally, a deposit will go on the credit side. That's where it will go. But now, to cancel it, I'm going to put it on the debit side. So somewhere I'm going to write 37,600 just to cancel it. And then I'm going to just say here what I just did. So I debited, you see that debit. So I debited an amount that was wrongly credited. Okay, my handwriting is too big. So, okay, I dealt with that. Okay. Then, what else was on the bank statement and not in the journals? A deposit. A. Adams, a tenant. So we got a deposit and it's not in our books. So if it's not in our books, it's CRJ or CPJ. And because it's a deposit, it's an income. So this is 14,200. That will go to the CRJ. Okay, so a deposit, 14,200. We left that out, so let's cancel that one also. Then EFT charges. This is bank charges. Okay. Then the EFT payment that we made to a creditor is not on our books, but the bank knows about this. So it's a payment. So this must go to the CPJ. The payment, 12,400. So in my CPJ, 12,400. Okay, I'm done with that. EFT payment, Then it just says D. Lorenzo, 5,500. So D. Lorenzo, 5,500. If you read your information here below, it says, let's just cancel this. We've dealt with that. A direct deposit from D. Lorenzo was a partial payment on his account. Okay, so this is a debtor who paid us. A discount of 500 Rand was allowed. So we allowed a discount of 500 Rand, but we don't want to know about the discount. We just want to know how much money did we receive. We received 5,500. and we didn't record it, so it goes to the CRJ. We made the mistake. So let's put in 5,500. Okay, let's cancel that. Next, we have service fees. Service fees is also bank charges. Then we have interest on a favorable bank balance. Interest is not bank charges. Interest you must show by itself. So if you have interest on a favorable bank balance, it means you received the money because you have a favorable bank balance. And if you receive and we left it out, it goes to the CRJ, 630. Interest, eh? So I'm done with that one. Next, an EFT payment to Pablo Insurers. So we paid. Again, it's a payment. Okay, if we pay and we made the mistake, it goes to the CPJ, 16,000. Okay, we can cancel. Then NME, a monthly online magazine subscription. So I'm going to write the 250 here because we left it out. Done. But now there's another one here. So yeah, that is a mistake. Let's go read if we see information about that. The subscription to NME was charged twice. So they deducted the money from our account twice. The bank will rectify this mistake. Okay, so BRS. Bank made the mistake. So the bank, let's go to BRS. A monthly subscription is something you pay. So normally, anything we pay will be here on the debit side in the BRS. So to cancel it, we're going to put it on the credit side. Eh? So now on my credit side, I'm going to write 250. And yeah, I'm going to say, what did I just do? I credited an amount that was wrongly debited. Okay, that's what I did there. Eh? So now we are also done with this. Okay, we've dealt with that. We've dealt with everything in here except the bank charges. So bank charges goes to the CPJ. Eh? Now in my CPJ, for my bank charges, I'm going to add those three amounts. And you can show how you add them. Eh? So I'm going to add them here. The first amount is the 1,090 for cash handling fees. Plus my EFT charges, that's 330. Plus my service fees, that's 1,140. Close bracket. And then you can total that. And I get that total to be 2,560. Okay, we are now by information E. And it says here, the following information in the November 2023 cash journals did not appear on the bank statement. Did not appear on the bank statement. So all of this must go to the bank reconciliation statement. The bank made the mistake or left something out, eh? So the bank doesn't have this deposit of 37,000 Rand. So 37 goes to credit. All deposits goes there. Eh? So this is outstanding deposit. Okay, we put it in. So that's done. And then they also don't have the EFT of 20,000. So I am going to outstanding EFT over here. 20,000 EFT will go to the debit side. Eh? So we're done with that. So what is left is we have to total. So now I'm just going to total. Eh? So I'm going to total this total column. Remember, add the provisional total. Eh? So it's this plus that, plus that, plus that. So it's all of these. Eh? Don't leave this one out. So if you total that, I get 124,330. And then if I total this, remember, add the provisional total, eh? All of that. If I add that, I get a total for the CPJ of 150,810. Okay, then I'm done with that. Now I go work out the correct bank balance for 1.2.2. Remember, we started with this already. So now I'm going to add my CRJ. This is my CRJ. So I'm going to add 124,330 minus my CPJ. And my CPJ is that amount, 150,810. And I get this answer to be, so you put this all in your calculator. I get that answer to be a positive 720. So this is a favorable balance. And then I take that favorable balance, but I don't have space. But a favorable bank balance goes on the debit side. So that's balance per bank account, eh? So let me just make an arrow. There you must write balance per bank account, because that's your bank account. Okay? We don't have balance per bank statement. They didn't give us that. So we are going to now total everything, eh? So what I'm going to do in my BRS, in my bank recon, I'm going to add all of these amounts up under the debit column. And then I'm going to add up all the amounts under my credit column, and I'm going to look which one is bigger. Now, if you add them up, you'll see this one is bigger. And that one gives me 58,320. Then you write that amount on both sides. And then to get this balance per bank statement, you say this minus this minus this will give me balance per bank statement, which is 21,070. And that's how you do the bank reconciliation statement. Yeah, everything is done.